We can also use X509 certificates to authenticate the members of a replica set or sharded cluster. Like with client-based X509 authentication, it's required that we use a version of MongoDB compiled with support for TLS/SSL. For the purposes of this demonstration, I've already created my own X509 certificates for the servers. As you can see here, I have my certificate authority public key, a key file for my client, and then certificates for each of the members of my replica set. Let's go ahead and start up a replica set with X509 internal authentication enabled. The first thing we're going to need to do is create the folders for our servers. Like before, I'm using makedir, passing in the tac p option with replica set 1, 2, and 3, each with a subfolder called db. We can now go ahead and start up the first member of a replica set. Here is the command to start the first member of our replica set. You can see I'm saying mongod, specifying the REPL set called myREPLSet. Of course, db path, log path, and the default port of 27017. Fork. I'm going to require SSL since we're using X509 authentication. I'm going to specify X509 authentication as the authorization mode. And then I'm going to pass in the first certificate for this member and then our CA file. Our first member is up and running. We can now go ahead and start up the second member. Here's the command for the second member. It's the same as the last, except we've changed the db path, log path, port, and of course, member file. Our second member is up and running, and now we can finally start the third member. Here's the third member's command. Same as before, except changing db path, log path, port, and key file. All three members have now successfully started. As you would expect, you can now connect to these members and initialize and add each of the members like we did in the previous lesson. So as you can see, the commands to start each of our members are getting kind of long, and it's a little bit hard to read. Now is a great time to take advantage of configuration files to configure each of the members of our replica set. I'm going to go ahead and show you what one configuration file would kind of look like. The configuration file looks pretty much exactly as you would expect. We have a top-level security field where we specify the authorization mode. We then have another top-level field called net, which has a subfield called SSL, which has three subfields called mode, CA file, and cluster file. Just like before, we can now save this file and start up our MongoD using the -- config option, passing in our configuration file. And you could use these configuration files again and again and again, and it'll save you a lot of time, and it'll actually prevent you from making a lot of simple mistakes.